if you're on your awakening journey and you're trying to find your authenticity, like what are you supposed to do now that you've become aware of your true self? I'm going to give you a really practical guide, including some diagrams to help you visualize what is going on to be your best self, right? To be your authentic self. Before I dive into it, I think it's probably a good idea to explain what was happening before you've become awakened to now as you are awakened, because the majority of the world is living in an unconscious state of being. And so that consists of your ego and your little self. Your ego is your thoughts. Enough thoughts that cling together create beliefs, and enough of those beliefs create identities. Your ego also consists of your personality and your imagination, right? So it's a pretty important part of being a human, sits in that ego. Then you have your little self, and that is your emotions. So your trauma stored here, and it feels, right? And so it's just energy in motion, which creates that emotion. And so before you awaken, you're just living between these two bubbles of ego and little self. So for example, say if you've got an appointment on and you're running a little bit late, but it's going to be okay. You jump in the car, you get onto the main road, and then there's this unexpected traffic on the road. You're going to get triggered. Your little self sends that trigger of an emotion. So it could be rage, it could be anger, it could be shame, it could be anxiety, depending on whatever your little self feels. That will shoot off to your ego, and the ego will project it, and it will try to create a story behind that emotion that you're feeling, and it'll look to protect itself as an ego. Now you're not only just stuck in traffic, you're lost in it, right? Now that you've awakened, you become aware of a third bubble, which is your I am, which is your consciousness, which is your awareness. Whatever label you want to give it, it could also be spirit or soul, but you realize that this is the real you having this human experience, in this body. You are consciousness having an experience through the body, right? And so from this perspective, you know that you are unconditionally loved, you are whole, you are abundant, worthy, right? So now let's do the same scenario. So you go out, you have this appointment, you're aware of your true self, you go out onto the road, you're still going to get those same triggers, anger, whatever it was. Let's say it is anger. You can't believe you're late. But now, instead of going to the ego to justify, to project, you go within and you ask your consciousness, hey, what's going on here? Like, I feel this emotion within me. And you can actually take accountability of that emotion, and you start to heal it through understanding your true self. And so if you go, well, I'm feeling anger, that is a secondary emotion to the root emotion, which is fear. So there's some kind of belief I have within my ego that I'm not good enough, or whatever it is. I'm going to be late. People are going to judge me. Well, and you, as someone that is whole, and that is your consciousness, you can actually start to disassemble those beliefs. You're healing it, right? And so all these triggers are going to keep coming up, but instead of projecting it, you're going to take accountability for it and go within and heal yourself from it. And so you can start to heal all these triggers because you can understand where it's coming from. It's coming from the ego and all these beliefs that have stored within you, right? That's majority of that's happening to the dark night of the soul, because you're breaking down all these beliefs, and you're keeping the ones that serve you. You get rid of the ones that don't. Before you've awakened, your state of being resides within the ego, and the ego has no control. And ironically, it's trying to control everything, and that just gives you anxiety. So like, events are happening to you. It's going to label these events as good or bad, and it's going to try and keep itself safe through whatever is happening. Now that you're aware, your state of being is going to reside in this bubble of the I am, the consciousness, and you surrender now to what is happening. You're not trying to control it. Your state of being is just present in the now moment, and that ultimately is just a state of acceptance, really, of neutrality. And this is where you just find life to be all serving you. Surrendering, that is what gives you control. I don't know. It's kind of ironic, but it's true. So now that you're in a state of presence, do you just like give up your ego and your little self and just go to the mountains and become a monk? Like, That could call to some people, but probably not to you. Because, as a spirit, you chose to come down and have this body and to have this personality. And also to, you have your trauma and you've managed to heal, or you're on the healing journey of it. Like, it is serving you because it's giving you the power to understand who you truly are. Authenticity isn't about killing off these parts of you. It's about aligning them to your divine self. So remember, your state of being is going to reside in the present moment. Your ego is this powerful tool of intent. And so you can now use that for your authenticity. What do you like to bring out to the world? What brings you joy? What makes your personality sing and be its best self? Then you have your little self, which is just a hub of frequencies. And what does this joy and excitement give you as a feeling? And you can leverage that to help raise your vibrations, raise your frequencies. So from a state of awareness, that is your present. That's your presence. That's where you're going to be living your day-to-day life out. But you can leverage your intent and your emotions, your feelings. And in this triangle is your authenticity. So this can be a compass, right? If you got any questions, let me know.